Hello and welcome back to Voidy Century. My name is Ion and today we are bringing you a lore decks video. It's been a while, but before that I want to give credit to both onepiececardgame.dev and Nakama Decks. They both do amazing jobs to give us great looking cards. Moving forward, we are going to be talking about this specific part of the One Piece world, where Law and the Heart Pirates managed to save Jinbe and Luffy. And you can see here Luffy bellowing as he was grasping the idea that he has just lost his brother. So anyway, we are moving forward. This is Heart Pirates Liberation Deck version 1. We have the ratios for it, very straightforward, and I do want to remind everyone that I make decks just for fun and just for lore's sake, rather than making them for a competitive nature. But if you do like those kind of decks that are optimized and that are battle ready, I highly recommend that you visit Mr. Casual Adobo's channel. It's called The Other Decks. And if you like checking out very detailed card reviews and deck openings and booster box openings, I highly suggest that you visit Mr. Asyraf D Chaz's channel. Both of them will have their links down in the description below. Moving forward, I'm going to swing over to the onepiececardgame.dev website, and as I'm clicking through these, I will be pulling up the Nakama Decks versions of the cards. They're all great, they're all clean. I just like using both engines to do these videos. So here we go. So we're going to be using Trafalgar Law's red-green leader card. He is of the Supernovas and Heart Pirates. He has activate main once per turn, rest 2 dawns. If you control 5 characters, return one of your characters to the owner's hand. Then play one cost 5 or lower character of a different color as the returned character from your hand. Life 4, power 5000, slasher. I really like this Law leader card. There's just so much you can do with his ability, so much return to hand plays that could affect or disrupt your opponent's gameplay. And this deck was made so that it could work around the red and green factor of Law's ability. We're moving on to our character cards. We're going to start off with Penguin. As a blocker on play, if you don't control Shachi, play one Shachi from your hand. Cost 3, power 2000, counter 1000, and striker. So a very straightforward card. You will see that I do give great importance to blockers in this deck. It's a lot of survivability, and with Penguin here, he works so well with Shachi in his ability. You get the gist of it. You play one and you get the other for free. We have Luffy. Dawn times 2. This character can't be KO'd when battling strike attribute characters. Activate main once per turn. Give this character up to 2 of your rested Dawn cards. Cost 2, power 3000, counter 1000, striker. He could potentially go up to about 7000 when he swings. That's just basically it. That's why I want Luffy in the deck. A very fast 2-drop and can pump for crazy amounts of damage in the early phases of the game. Next one up, we have Beppo. He's a vanilla card, cost 1, power 3000, counter 1000. And more so than not, he will be staying in my hand as a counter. If he is in my opening hand, why not? If I'm going first and I have him, I'll drop him. But majority of the time, I would love to keep Beppo as a counter. Next is Shachi, blocker. On play, if you don't control Penguin, play one Penguin from your hand. Cost 3, power 4000, counter 1000, striker. Like Penguin a while ago, they play hand in hand with each other. True to their character in the manga, in the anime, they just play so well off of each other that in this game, if you play one, you get the other one for free. For the cost of 3, if both of them are in your hands, you will automatically get 2 blockers on the field. Don't mind Penguin's 2000 power. I know Shachi has a better power base, but your main goal is to get both of them in the field as blockers to hold off, to set up your field until you get your big guns out. Next up is Beppo. Dawn times 1. When attacking, play one Heart Pirates type card other than Beppo with a cost of 4 or less from your hand. Cost 4, power 4000, counter 2000. So Beppo really works well with his crewmates Shachi and Penguin. So if you actually play Beppo and crank him up with one Dawn, and then as he is attacking, you can play one other Heart Pirates card. So if you have both Penguin and Shachi, you drop one or the other, you get the other one for free. So you're technically paying 4 to get 3 cards out. You can see the intention of the deck so far, and it's not just to have bodies on the field. You want to have the bodies on the field to be able to use Law's ability. So you grab a green card back up to your hand, be able to drop another 5 cost or less red card, being this guy over here, Jinbe, who is another blocker. Dawn times 1 on block, you may play a red card that costs 2 or less from your hand, and in this case he plays off of Luffy, the 2-drop that we had a while ago. And if he's blocking and he has 1 Dawn on him, you can play Luffy for free. So it's a lot of being able to get the characters onto the field, at the same time utilizing Law's ability, the leader, to get some cards back to hand and dropping them, at the same time getting more than what you bargained for. In this case, you might want to get Jinbe back to your hand or Luffy back to your hand, and then drop a Penguin at the same time getting an extra Penguin. So it's a lot of back and forth strategy in terms of playing with your field. And next one up here, we have another Jinbe card. Dawn times 1, when attacking, your leader or one of your characters other than this card gains plus 1000 power during this turn. Cost 3, power 5000, striker. A very straightforward card. I like him because he cranks up one of your other characters or your leader, and it's just a very straightforward card. He's just there to power up for a turn. That's why I only have 2 copies of him, and for lore's sake I really wanted to get him into the deck. Next one up, we have Jean Bart, and he is a vanilla card, 4 cost, 6000 power, counter 1000, and a striker. Vanilla cards at the 4 cost 6000 power range are very strong, hard to remove, and hard to deal with. So that's why I have 4 copies of Jean Bart as well. And next up, we have the 5-drop Trafalgar Law. He is a blocker. On play, you may return one of your characters to your hand, play 1 cost 3 or lower character card from your hand, and then power 6000 and slasher. So you can see again another mechanic where we would return characters to hand, this time to do an on play trigger to return and then play another card that costs 3 or less. Does so much for this deck, because if you notice, there is about 17 cards that cost 3 or less in this deck. By any chance want to use it again, have leader Law grab a red card off of the field, then drop this Trafalgar Law to do an on play ability again. We have Luffy, who has Rush. Dawn times 2, when attacking, your opponents can't activate blocker for this battle. Cost 5, power 6000, and striker. So as much as I like blockers, I don't like dealing with blockers. And I am very fond of the Rush cards as of late. And Luffy is a prime example of that. Again, a dash of Luffy in the deck, but at this time I only have 3 copies of this guy. He is one of the late game cards you would want to have in your hand, and then be able to play and just crank him up and be able to, deal lots of damage at the mid to late game. That's basically his role, is to come out, swing as soon as he drops, and then be able to neutralize blockers in his path. And then we have Trafalgar Law. On play, set one of your rested characters with the Supernovas or Heart Pirates trait with a cost of 5 or less to active. A very simple card. I do like his on-play ability. You can have the other Law here, the 5-drop, attack at 6000, and then if you want to save him, you can actually just put him back to active. Or have Jean Bart over here, since he's a Heart Pirate, you can have him attack twice if you want to. It's a simple ability. It works so well to mitigate any damage incoming for your characters, or even utilize it to add extra damage or extra pressure to your opponent's side. And then we're moving on to the event cards, and we have I Can Smell the Adventure card. Main, shuffle your hand into your deck. Then draw a card for each card shuffled this way. Trigger, activate this card's main effect. Cost 1. So as you can see, there's a lot of playsets in this card that are at the 4 mark, at the 3 mark. More so than not, you would always have multiple copies of each card in hand if it doesn't get flooded, if you hit a wall. I Can Smell the Adventure is here so you can reshuffle your hand into the deck. Since you can only mulligan once, it is a great help to have this as insurance if you hit that wall. So next one up is my favorite red event card, Jet Pistol, main, KO one of your opponent's characters with a power of 6,000 or less. Trigger, activate this card's main effect, cost 4. So I love this card because it targets the power of a character rather than the cost. I just like it for that fact because a lot of cards in the game, mid part of the game, are playing around the 6,000 power mark, and it just helps to level out the playing field if need be. So I like Jet Pistol for that. Last event card we have, and the last card of the deck, is Scalpel. Counter, your leader or up to one of your characters gain 2,000 power for the duration of the battle. Then switch up to one of your Dawn to active. Trigger, switch up to 2 of your Dawn to active. Cost 1. In all honesty, this card is in this deck because of lore's sake. It is just here because it is Law in there. It is his ability. I am not quite fond of the card itself, as I do not think of not having the Dawn needed to go into your opponent's turn to use any event cards. Even the trigger itself to come out of the life area just to give you 2 active Dawns, I don't think it's that great because, again, you wouldn't go into your opponent's phase not having that insurance, not having that Dawn you need to utilize any event cards in your arsenal. I do like the fact that it's only a cost 1 and it's a counter, and it does buff your characters by 2,000, but the secondary ability to it, not that amazing. That's just a personal preference. This is the deck to tell the story of when Law and his pirates and his pirate crew helped Luffy and Jinbe get out of the Marineford War. It was nice to reminisce and to rewatch that episode, to be able to see Boa getting worried for Luffy, Jinbe reminding himself of his promise to Ace to protect Luffy, and Law being the doctor that he is, to heal and to look over Luffy, to watch over him, and his entire crew being able to nurse Jinbe and Luffy back. And it was just a nice nostalgic episode to watch and even to read in the manga. Very, very fun deck to make. I do not recommend using it for competition. Tweak it if you want. But yeah, this is the deck, and I hope you guys liked it. But until next time, I hope you guys stay safe out there, and I'll catch you in the next video. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day. Bye.